Alright guys, this afternoon's video is going to be a little different because there's someone else here. This is Mr. Chris Parton, aka Rooster.
Got it.
And the reason Rooster's here is because we've been friends for quite a while now. And he wasn't an elk hunter. He'd never been out west or any place like that. Until a few years back, he started coming and helping us guide here in Kentucky. And he had been on some hunts with other people in Kentucky. And he got the bug. AKA, he spends all of his money on elk gear now. But I just wanted to let him kind of tell you the story. And it's pretty much the same story any true elk hunter will tell you, how this becomes an obsession the first time a bull elk is screaming in your ear.
No, it's an addiction.
Yeah. So tell us.
Well, my elk hunting addiction started what? When did Ben retire? About 5 years ago?
He retired in 19.
Yeah, so in 19, Ben retired, and David invited him down for a turkey hunt, and we spent 2 weeks. Him and David was turkey hunting and mushroom hunting, and we took him bow fishing, and had a big time. And we had a catch and cook, at the end. So we smoked some turkeys, lots of fish, and Ben brought elk steaks. And I'd never eaten elk meat. And we had my wife was there, the kids, everybody. And the moment I eat the first bite of that elk steak, I looked at Ben and I said, "Man, you've cost me thousands of dollars." And
Hell, when you went on your first elk hunt.
So, fast forward from that point, I told Dave, I said, "We're going elk hunting."
Well, you think about it, between that point and the first elk hunt, how many times you come help us when we were guiding here in Kentucky?
We spent that whole year between me getting ready and y'all,
guiding. In every waking moment that you could get away.
So that whole year.
And here's a little backstory I won't tell you. Rooster here's got, how old is Maddie?
She just turned 13.
Okay. He got a daughter named Maddie that just turned 13. Guess who now is elk addicted?
Maddie. Bad.
And Mr. Rooster is fixing to leave and go on a hunt in Utah. And they have tried every way they know possible to get her out of school. And she is so heartbroken now that she don't get to go because there's no way she can get out of school. That I'd say Mr. Parton's life is probably difficult at home.
We band-aided it. She's kind of pumped up because I mentioned the friend of yours that drew a Kentucky elk tag that we might get to go tag along with. So she's that made amends right.
Well, you know what? You don't know how much he appreciates your offer for help.
Hey, I appreciate getting tagged along.
Because this is two guys that have never hunted anything but whitetail squirrels and maybe a few coons in northern Kentucky. And he got kind of wound up because when I guided his dad and we finally killed that elk, and his father was very, very disabled. And now he's 89, I believe. And you know what he's doing still?
Hunting, fishing.
No.
No?
He has cut and baled every field of hay they have on that big farm up there. And those boys, they go see him every night. They're like a super tight family.
Yeah.
And we've become great friends over the years. And he told me, the son, when they were down last weekend, he said, "Alan, let me tell you how much my dad loves you." He said, "Me and my brother go over there every night, coming in out of work." And he said, "We'll sit down, have a cup of coffee or water, whatever with Dad." He said, "What should be a 15-minute visit turns into an hour-long visit."
Oh, yeah.
Talking about that elk hunt.
That's all we talk about on this porch, man.
I know. That's one of the reasons I wanted to have you here, because when the group of the guiding friends and Rooster are here, Nate's here. That's
what really got me started was the elk steak, and we spent a year and a half getting ready. Then went to Colorado, had a heck of a time, got on some elk, didn't kill anything, but got close. And then that
I think what drove you overboard was Tom's bull.
Oh yeah, because I had that bull in Colorado at 50 yards. And then I came back on Sunday. I worked Monday through Thursday. And then I had that tag I drew, that whitetail tag I drew in Tennessee, that was a Friday, Saturday hunt. And we had to sell cattle, so I wasn't going to be able to hunt Friday anyway. So I'm sitting here on Friday night when we're talking about elk season. And Nate had to be out of town. You guys were short a guy. And I was like, hey, I'll do it. I'll do it for free.
Yeah.
Just to get to go.
Just to get to go.
And I think the highlight of that for me was when we were talking to Arnold, and I told him, I was like, Dave, well, I won't kill by 8:30 in the morning. And, fast forward following day, 8:36, I text Arnold, big bull down.
Yeah, I got the text, and I was over in Unit 3.
And we had a ball.
And then you went, guys, I can't find any blood.
Yeah.
And Wormy says, I'll call the tracking dogs. And I'm like, I had a client that was also a good friend of Nate Noble's. And I said, you care if we cut this short?
Yeah. Go ahead.
And it was later in the week for us anyways. I said, you care if we cut this short so I go track this bull? And he's like, no, I want to go. I want to see this. And I text Wormy back. I said, you tell that old boy in freaking Johnson City, do not put them dogs in the truck, because I ain't paying him $450 because we can find elk. I know how to track them. So we get, 450, 500 yards from where he'd shot it on that bench on the mountain, and we're finding specks of blood. And this is a rifle hunt, by the way, not an archery hunt. That Rooster has better eyes than me. He would have to get on his knees to make sure it was blood, and it was the size of the tip of an ink pen. And
it's crazy.
We had made it probably 490 yards, somewhere in that distance from where he had shot it. And Rooster goes, I think we ought to just turn around and get them dogs. And I said, let's go a few more yards, because a mortally wounded animal don't necessarily just keep running, especially if they're hurt real, a liver shot or something like that. And I'm not joking. We turned around. How many steps did we take before
I took one step.
He literally raised his head up and was just wobbling.
Right in front of us.
Right in front of us, 10 feet probably.
Remind me, I'll find that video and send it to you.
I'd love to have that. But ultimately, the bull was harvested. And I've got pictures on the cloud that are fixing to be posted in some collages. And I know most of you folks don't know anything, but that right there is the war wagon. And you can see the stripes of battle on it. So